So in this video I want to tell you about maybe just my experience in English and how can you improve your English skills or something like that. Some people think that they are really good at English and they can speak properly with native speakers. They know English well because just in schools they got like 5 or 4, just grades or something like that. Like they were very good at English and it's good, absolutely. But it's not true. In most cases it's not true because in English, just in our schools, in our educational establishments like universities, colleges and so on, we are taught just a very old version of English. Like Shakespeare's times or Robert Burns or Charles Dickens or I don't know, like Jack London and so on. So they used it back in the day, not now. Nowadays we have an absolutely different version of English. I can tell you, just try to watch some videos of like President Trump's speech when he speaks somewhere, yeah? Or just try to watch some American movies. You won't understand anything at all because you don't know this version of English. Nowadays they use an absolutely different version of English. And you don't know these idioms, you don't know these phrases, you don't know this colloquial speech at all. So maybe you learned some grammar back in the day. You learned some grammar in schools or just, I don't know, somewhere. Yeah, in English courses, for example, with a tutor. So you know some maybe vocabulary, you know some different phrases and words, that's it. But nowadays they use an absolutely different level of English, an absolutely different version of English. They use a lot of different idioms which they didn't use before at all. So that's why it's necessary to know the right version of English. For example, I know a lot of different people. So they attended different classes back in the day. They decided to go to the USA, for example. Okay, so they go to the USA. They get a job somewhere in a fast food restaurant or something like that. They start working there and after some time they just face a lot of different problems with their customers, with their bosses, with their with different people there. Because they can't understand anything at all. So they listen to their speech, okay, but they don't understand. They can't speak properly. People can't understand them. And after some time they are fired and they have to find a new job. They have to look for new jobs because they are fired, because they can't speak properly at all. And in this situation, some people are disappointed because, okay, so in my childhood, I went to different English schools. I learned English so much. So I learned English a lot. I knew everything before. Now I know different grammar rules. Now I know a lot of vocabulary. But why can't I speak English properly? Because the answer is so simple. Because you learned an old version of English. And it's absolutely the truth. You can go to the USA or to Canada or even to Great Britain and you will hear that they don't speak like we spoke in schools or something like that. It's absolutely true. That's why, if you want to have a good future, if you want to get a good job somewhere abroad, if you want to live in California, New York City or somewhere there, you must use a new level of English, a new version of English. You must watch American movies, you must listen to American speech, you must listen to English speech, modern English speech. Maybe just British speech, I don't know, it's up to you. You must decide. But not all the English textbooks, which they used back in the day somewhere, just maybe 50 years ago or 100 years ago even, something like that. I can give you now 2 pieces of advice about this matter. The first one is just try to watch English movies, especially if you go to the USA, watch American movies. Maybe at first you won't understand anything at all. They speak just so fluently, you can't understand a single word or a single phrase or something like that. Yes, at first it will be really difficult for you to understand. But after some time, you will be able to use these phrases, to use these words, because your subconscious mind, when you listen to them speak, you understand these words, it will be in your subconscious mind, and after some time you will be able to use them just in your real speech. You will be able to understand more than it was before. It's the main advice I can tell you. Just try to watch English movies. British movies, American movies, Canadian movies, I don't know, just it's up to you. It depends on your on your decision where you will go or something like that. And the second version, the second advice is to read a lot. Try to read different books in English. Try to read modern books, modern articles. Try to read maybe modern news, like different American newspapers. While reading them, just you will find a lot of different new words and new phrases. Try to write them down. After some time, you will try to understand them, just to remember them, and it will help you a lot. So, two main things. The first one is to watch movies, just English movies, I mean in the original. And the second one is just to read different books, articles, stories, news, and so on. Back in the day, I couldn't speak with native speakers at all. I thought I'm a good English speaker or something like that. But when I started to speak with native speakers, I understood that I couldn't understand anything at all. They spoke so much, they spoke fluently, but I couldn't understand. And only when I started to listen to different English movies, English speech, and so on, I started to understand. My pronunciation improved a lot. And while reading different stories, different articles, I learned a ton of new words, a ton of new phrases, a ton of new idioms, and so on. And I can tell you, for example, that it's really necessary to know idioms because they use it a lot. They use a lot of different idioms, like back in the day, just to run some errands, like it goes without saying, like, I don't know. Yeah, just a lot of different idioms. They use them a lot. And especially phrasal verbs, like get by, get along, get on, get through, and so on. You must know them. I know that it's kind of difficult to understand, to remember everything, but step by step, every day try to use this method, just slow studying. Only maybe 10 words every day. It will be okay, it will be enough for you at first. Then after some time, maybe after 1 year or 2 years, you will be able to understand more and you will be able to speak like a native speaker. And one day you get up and you see, okay, I'm very good at English and I'm able to get a good job. I'm able to communicate with different native speakers and so on. You will be happy because you will understand everything and you will be able to speak and people will understand you. It's a really great goal and it helps you. Absolutely, that's why I try these two methods. Okay, maybe in this video that's it. Thank you.